All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron Michael Eschenberg back at it again. Honest Aim here with some honest astrology for Tuesday, the 4th of June. I hope you're enjoying that new moon energy. New moon in Gemini, right? It's all about change. Gemini is the first mutable sign in the zodiac, followed by Cancer, the cardinal sign, the first cardinal water, well, the only cardinal water sign, but the first water sign of the zodiac. So it's like the stronger force is taking over the weaker force of Gemini. So all the information, all the buzz, but there's something bigger coming along that's going to take place. We're moving there right now. All right, so let me show you this. Now, the moon and Mercury are both at the 29th degree of Gemini today. Now, the sun is still at like 13 degrees, and it's going to be there for another 2.5 weeks still. Okay, so before I show you the chart, but it's like we have this foreshadowing. The moon and Mercury are both foreshadowing. Okay, this is like this Prometheus energy. When Mercury's in front of the sun, it's stealing the fire from the gods and giving it to the people. Okay, so again, we have that foreshadow. Mars is ahead of the sun. Mercury is ahead of the sun. The moon just ahead of the new moon, moving ahead of the sun, and all moving into the sign of Cancer. All right, this is emotions. Again, this is this stronger sign. So this is like our emotions are going to lead the way, and great change is coming. So let me just show you what all this looks like again, or first here. So there's the sun here at 13 degrees, but this is the magic right here, 29-29. These two are meeting up at this magical degree. Anytime we have something at the first degree or the last degree, it's always the strongest. So this conjunction is particularly powerful. Okay, great change, and we're allowed to, emotionally, we're accepting of this, okay? Because then we're going to have, this is just later in the day, just a couple hours, I'll show you here. They're both going to start to square Chiron, okay? So what is this? 6 p.m., Mercury's in there, the moon's up at 3 degrees now. That red line right over there to Chiron. So this is like, again, this is the stuff that doesn't necessarily make the most sense logically. It's just our emotions. This is intuition kicking in, and this information, this intuitive information. So it's funny, like a good way to think about this, and too with Mars up there and the North Node being there. This is where all the energy is going right now. Obviously, this is a stellium. This is a lot. We have Mars, we have the North Node, we have the Moon, and we have Mercury, all in the sign of Cancer right now. Two of those planets are squaring Chiron in the sign of Aries and Self. Okay, like let these be the tools. Let these tools heal you. Let these tools be the change that you need, that motivates you to take that next step, because that's what we're all about, is creating the change right now, the necessary change to take us to the next step. And with Mars being in the watery sign of Cancer, again, it's in detriment. Although the moon's home and Venus is home right now in Taurus, we'll get there in a second. It's like you have a soldier, okay? He just jumped out of an airplane, skydiving down, pulls his parachute, gets on the ground, starts running, trudging through the trenches, and then gets to a swamp. And now it's like, I gotta slow down, bring my weapon and all my ammunition and whatever belongings above my head, and slowly go through the swamp. Okay, and so it's like slow, it's methodical. This is precise movement, but we're not going anywhere anytime fast. So again, this is the foreshadow, but the sun is still, for the next 2.5 weeks, going to be in Gemini. So it's like we still have this change coming over the next 2.5 weeks, and then the sun's finally going to get there as well, because Mercury is going to retrograde at the very end, or it's at the beginning of Leo, and so it's just going to go right back into Cancer. So it's like we have all of this Cancer energy at the same time. All right, so this next 2 weeks is super important. This morning, Tuesday morning, this is an important morning. So it's like, don't be lazy today. Don't, it's like, find the motivation to, like, what gets you out of bed? What gets you excited? Is it somebody else, another person? Is it money? Is it you? It should be you. Like right now, it should be flipping the switch onto self, and it should be us that's getting motivated for our change that we are bringing for ourselves. Because here's the other aspect of what's going on today. Venus here in her home sign of Taurus, about personal possessions and money and these old traditions. my home, you know, kind of my kingdom. It's creating this trine here, and this is just about the end of it. This end of this trine here to the south node, to Saturn, and to Pluto. This mega transformation, recreate, rebrand. You're going through a giant rebranding. We all are. This giant rebranding. And this energy here is furthering, like, really letting go. Really letting go, and it's just like falling in love with, it's like falling in love with the idea that you have a garden that you get to go weed. Not looking at it as a chore that's just like, oh, I gotta go weed the garden. It's just like, man, it's so cool that where I'm at in life, I have the opportunity to have a garden, a space for that I can tend to, that I can care for. You know, it's just like exciting that I get to get up today and go do these things. I have the privilege of vacuuming the living room. You know, it can be mundane things, but it's really like, hey, let's flip this switch. This is a really powerful urge, you know, to take that next step, creating change and letting go. So that's what the day is about, because it's gonna slow down, friends. So enjoy the fire while it's still here. Love ya. Wish you enough. We'll see you tomorrow.